Considerations when buying a Chromebook in 2021. Before you decide which Chromebook to buy, this is where you can learn what to do. I'm Hewie Poplock. What is a Chromebook? Well, a Chromebook is Google's Chrome operating system on a computer. It's secure, it's portable, it has a quick boot up, less than 5 seconds, long battery life, ease of use in mind. It tends to be priced less than a Windows or an Apple computer. It now includes mid-range and high-end models, and all models since 2017 run most Android apps. You will need a Google account, and you'll need it to log into the Chromebook. Your account is used also to sync your settings between Chromebooks and also Chrome on other operating systems. It connects you to your Google Drive, where you'll probably want to store a lot of your documents and log into other Google services automatically. There's a guest mode available, but it's designed to allow friends and family easy access to your Chromebook, not for everyday use. There are different types of Chromebook devices. The Chromebooks, which are portable laptop type devices. Chromeboxes, which are small desktop computers, and they are small enough to mount on the back of most monitors if you wish. There are Chromebits, which are sticks that plug into a computer to make it a Chromebook. And then there's Chromebook tablets. Not many of them, but there are some out there. Okay, Chromebooks. They were launched in 2012. 2015, the category overtook MacBooks in the US. 10.1 million units shipped in 2019. 29 million units shipped in 2020. Here are some pictures of Chromebooks by use of school kids, kindergarten through high school. Even kindergartners use Chromebooks. That's one of the reasons I recommend them for seniors, because of their ease of use. So, what do you do on a computer? Well, you probably do email. You probably do Facebook. You may do some games. You look for some information. Google it. You probably bank or pay bills on your computer. You make purchases with something like Amazon or many other stores, including your groceries. You probably Zoom. You may watch videos on YouTube. You may do office activities like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Office, or some other office type programs. And you may have some other uses for your computer. Here's 6 reasons why Chromebook should be your next computer. Portability, the battery life, Google Apps, the performance, the security, and the price. This is a website called Zipso, and on this website they list all of the models of Chromebook and compare all of their specifications. A great resource. It was updated last February. I'm expecting it the next month or so to be updated again. However, there are a lot of the current models are on here, as well as if you scroll down, you will see all of the older models as well. So you can determine how old that model is if you're going to look at different models in a store or online. So here are some things to look for when you're considering purchasing a Chromebook. How about the brand? Well, there's a lot of brands. There's Acer, Asus, CTL, Dell, Google, HP, Lenovo, and Samsung, to mention most of them. There are a few others. The screen size. The screen sizes vary. You can get them from 10.1 inches to 15.6 inches. Some of them are 16 by 9 widescreen aspect ratio, like an HD TV. Those are usually 1366 by 768 resolution, or they may be 1920 by 1080 resolution. There's a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, so it usually runs around 1280 by 800 resolution, and a 3:2 aspect ratio, and also with a very high resolution of 2400 by 1600. More and more Chromebook models are shipping with multi-touch support. So I've talked about the resolution. Now the CPU model, and the CPU is the processor. And the processor or CPU is arguably the most crucial point of any computer. Chromebooks come with several different kinds of processors, including some you have heard of and some you may not have heard of. Most of them are either Intel, AMD, or ARM. The CPU speed will vary, and you want to compare them using that chart. And how many cores, whether it's 2 or 4 or more cores on the chips. What about memory? The amount of RAM is another important thing you should consider when searching for your perfect Chromebook. Many modern websites like Facebook, Google Docs, and other web apps require ever-increasing amounts of memory. With many sites open at once, you can quickly run out of memory. And then generally you're going to find Chromebooks with 2 gigabytes. That's enough, but really to use. But for the most part, I would recommend at least 4 gigabytes of RAM, especially if you tend to have many tabs open in Chrome. 8 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes are now available on some of the newer high-end models, and you're going to see more and more of the newer models coming with at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. Storage. Well, there's all different types of storage, and you generally don't get a lot of storage in a Chromebook. Most Chromebooks come with between 16 and 64 gigabytes of internal storage. Some may have a little bit more. It helps keep the prices low while still providing fast drives. This is due to the Chrome operating system being designed to work with cloud services. Many of your Chromebooks will come with either an SD or a micro SD slot, which you can put your own card in, and in many cases you can add 64, 128, or 256 gigabytes of storage by adding a card to it. Obviously, with USB ports, you can add additional external hard drives of any size, or a USB flash stick will also work with a Google Chrome, with any of the Chromebooks. The batteries generally run without charging from 8 to 12 hours on a Chromebook, and a lot of them have fast recharge. They do require a power brick. You can't just plug them into a little cube like you can your phone. It does require one of the heavier type connections with the brick. What about the weight? Well, that's something to consider when you're buying a Chromebook. Some of them are very thin and lightweight. Some are quite heavy. If you're going to look at a 14 or 15-inch Chromebook, it's going to be 2 or 3 pounds, as opposed to maybe around a pound for some of the 11-inch or 10-inch Chromebook. What about the price? You can get them for less than $200 up to about $2,000. So depending upon which ones of the criterias that we're talking about you want, and the brand and so on, is how much it's going to cost. So you want to set yourself a budget and then look for sales. A lot of times you can get $100 to $150 off some of the mid-range Chromebook. I generally look for models for people when they want me to help them in the $300 to $600 range. Try to get them on sale for around $500. You're going to get a pretty good Chromebook. What about ports? Well, let's talk about USB. You're going to have USB, the possibility of a USB 2 port, a USB 3 or 3.1 port, and possibly a USB-C connector. These are a more modern type of USB, which provide multiple functions such as power charging and external display support. And speaking of external display support, you also might want to consider making sure that you have an HDMI port on your unit. If you don't get an HDMI, and that's HDMI out, So you're going to then connect to some kind of a device like a projector or a TV with it. If you don't have an HDMI port, it most likely you're going to have a USB 3 or a USB-C to HDMI converter, which you can buy for $15–20 on any of the online stores. All Chromebooks since 2017 support Android. If you're looking at a used Chromebook, you want to check to see if it does support Android. I don't recommend getting one that doesn't. You are going to lose a lot of the ability of what you want to use a Chromebook for without having the ability to run any of the Android apps. A touch screen. I think a touch screen is very important. Some people don't need them. Some people don't even want them. But I think if once you have used a Chromebook that has a touch screen, you will find that you are glad that you have one. And I would highly suggest when you're looking for a Chromebook to consider a touch screen. Make sure you have a camera and a microphone in it if you so desire. Most likely you're going to use it. You're going to do some Zoom meetings. You're going to be doing some text to speech, speech to text, and you want to have a microphone. If not, you'll have to use either one of the USB connectors for an external camera microphone, or you're going to need a docking station that you can plug one of those in. So if it's built in, and it is in most models. I prefer a lighted keyboard. I am not a touch typist. I have to look at my keyboard, and a lot of times I don't have a lot of lights on when I'm working on it. I'm in the living room with the TV on and low light, and I want to be able to see that keyboard. And I like a lighted keyboard. It's not a necessity. It's a well, do I want it or not want it? You want to look at the end of life. And by end of life, I'm talking about the end of support for your particular Chromebook. And there is a way now to go, and I have a video on how to find out about your end of life on any particular model of a Chromebook. They generally are about 4 to 6 years, and some of them are even a little bit longer now, from the date of manufacture, not from the date of purchase. LTE or connections. How are you going to connect to the internet? Since you need the connection to an internet for most things on a Chromebook, you need to consider how are you going to connect. One of the ways other than Wi-Fi is have LTE built in. Very few models of Chromebooks today have the ability to connect with a cell tower, and you would have to have a cell phone account for your Chromebook. But if it has it built in, you can use your Chromebook wherever you are at any time, long as there is a cell tower from the service that you are getting somewhere nearby. 360 degrees, and that means will your Chromebook fold back into a tablet and go into tablet mode? And if it does, obviously you're going to have a touch screen because that's the only way you could do that. And that's something to consider. Not all of them do that. Some of them are just a standard portable laptop computer, but some of them do fold back and make into a tablet. Be sure to register if you haven't already for the Learning Chromebooks. And to get the link for this, well, you had to have done that. Thank you for joining. So enjoy your new Chromebook. I'm Hewie Poplock.